Our immediate focus now is on the recovery phase, supporting businesses and homeowners that have been moved and disrupted. There's a real focus on getting the infrastructure back up and running. What we've worked very aggressively with the bus company to drop people off just on the shoulder of the flood zone, so there's still a bus service operating. And because of the impact on car parks, we've maximised use of park and ride. So we're bringing people off in Frankwell, people off in Abbey Foregate. So there's still kind of feeding the town as such. Because of course you can access it
it's peaked, isn't it?
Yeah, so the river peaked at 3:45 this morning,
Right.
Pretty well at 2002 levels, so really high, and it's now beginning to drop slowly. Of course what we're doing is watching the weather forecast for particularly what volume of rates predicted tomorrow evening, because that may just cause a bit of a slight surge again. So depending on what that is, where that falls and how that plays out, it's still very much you kind of watch and wait and see.
I'm very interested in the Bellwind scheme. Of course, Parliament isn't sitting at the moment, much to my great irritation. It's in a week's recess, so we have no ability to hold different ministers to account. I've been told that the government have opened the Bellwind scheme.
They have.
Do we know how much money has been afforded to Shropshire Council in Shropshire deal with the consequences of this flooding?
No, there isn't a cap as such, so there's an excess where, as a local authority, we bear the first, if you like, £465,000. Beyond that, on a range of eligible measures, we can claim from government under the Bellwind scheme.
After 460,000?
Yeah, so we're already cataloguing all of the abnormal costs that result into the council from all of the work we've been doing. From Friday night, we've already been working quite extensively, and then those excess costs can then be submitted to the Bellwind scheme.
Well, we would like to know, we would like to know from you as soon as possible what the total costs are, because I think it's very important that when Parliament is reconvened on the 24th of February, we're in a position to publicly explain to the government just what the costs have been. I don't know how you calculate the economic impact on Shrewsbury itself.
Well, that's the difficulty, and of course, in a conventional sense, it's householders and their own insurance that is the bottom of the iceberg. We don't see those figures. We don't see what it is people pay for on their insurance policies. All we see is the impact, if you like, on the public realm and public infrastructure. And if anybody has, any kind of extenuating circumstance and needs special help, then we're there to listen to those requests as well.
I've got about 20 Shrewsbury businesses who give me their takings, not just when Shrewsbury has been flooded, but in the week to 10 days after floods have receded.
Yeah.
And we have a spread charge which monitors the average fall in income from each Shrewsbury retailer as a result of this, because of course, as you know, the media very good at announcing that Shrewsbury is flooded, but not so much attention when the water has receded, and there are still people who think, a week or 10 days on, it's difficult to get into Shrewsbury. That's what we're fighting against.
I agree with that. So we've reached out to the General Partner, certainly Shrewsbury Business Improvement District, to try and get as much local intelligence on the impact on Shrewsbury business as we can. And it may be, I think, that there's something we can talk to government, which is there some form of business rate discount maybe for those businesses, or some form of support that can be allowed just to help them get back on their feet. So there's been reports already of some businesses so significantly affected that their whole viability is in question. So we've got to look at whatever we can to try and support those people.
Can I just, whilst we're being filmed by the start, obviously we have had important flood defences paid for by central government in the past, which have protected properties. But going forward, what have we learned, if anything, from these floods? What is the top priority in terms of additional flood defences that we ought to be campaigning for in Parliament as a result of these floods? Is there anything you can tell me on that?
There is, and so we as a council have led the development of a River Severn partnership, and we took a paper to our cabinet in December on that. And one of the things that we're now looking at is, what's the new model for flood prevention measures? Because to some extent, we've had 3 1 in 50 floods now in 20 years. So clearly the kind of models that we're working to aren't really now up to date with everything that's going on in climate change, for example, etc. We're getting more and more frequent heavy weather events. So there's a plea back into government, which measures, we need to review models, and we need some new measures, and we need some bold thinking. So, you know, there is a bit about watch that space, but we've got some thoughts coming down, forgive the phrase, but coming down the pipes on that. And that'll be quite an ambitious scheme, but clearly we can't plan or allow for this to keep happening on any kind of frequent basis. It's just not sustainable for the people of the town.
Is this as bad? This is as bad as 2005. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, again, I will be calling for a debate in Parliament on flooding and flood defences in Shropshire. I know that Ludlow has been very badly affected as well, and the leader of the council telephoned me to say he's in Ludlow this afternoon. So it's not just the Shrewsbury problem, it's a Shropshire problem. We'll be calling for a debate on this, and any additional information that you can give to us ahead of that debate would be very, very helpful. I mean, I think that government agencies are tight on budgets, but if there's anything that has accentuated in my mind the need to campaign in Parliament, it's what's happened to Shrewsbury just now, and the need to try to increase taxpayers' money into more flood prevention schemes. As you've said, three once in 50
year events within 20 years.
Within 20 years, yeah.
So, and the other town that we're now focused on is Bridgnorth, because what happens in Shrewsbury a day later finds its way to Bridgnorth. So there's a lot of focus today going on in terms of working with the Environment Agency and others to make sure that we're as prepared as we can be in Bridgnorth. So you're right, it's a whole county issue in a number of ways. And there's lots of isolated properties that have got caught in just flooding through drains or brooks or streams, and we're still trying to understand all of that as well. You know, the Clun catchment was hugely affected. Lots of rural isolated properties that have got their own problems. So it is a really big issue. The Environment Agency this morning on the radio described this as an issue of national significance. So I think that supports everything you've just said about carrying an argument to government about a fresh approach.
Okay. Thank you very much for that update. Thank you.